Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN with your faves, Kevin and Azem featuring Jade, Gwenny Gwen, Idita CPL, Martha Stewart Johnson, who is unfortunately not here to join me today. So I'm here by my lonesome, which is why I'm maskless for those of you who are watching online. It feels good to be free. I'll not have to wear this mask for the next 2 hours. That's a good question. I wonder when we'll be able to just like go maskless again. A better question might be, do you guys really want to? But it's Monday morning. We are at the start of a new week. I'm hoping everybody listening had a great weekend. If not, there's always next week. Or this week. And hopefully this week goes well for you guys. It's productive. You guys get stuff done that you need to get done. Nobody stress out y'all. On the weekend I saw some people who obviously were being stressed. Hopefully they've dealt with those matters. And could go into this week, with a light spirit. Let's put it that way. With a light spirit. I went to Nevis yesterday. And to do some work and ended up seeing things I really shouldn't. I saw some people arguing. And look, big up to the women that believe they're significant others. It's getting to the point where it seems as though you're just automatically guilty. There's no innocent until proven guilty anymore. It's always guilty until, well, probably just guilty. Because if you ain't guilty for this thing, you're guilty for the next thing anyway. And I felt so bad. Like, one thing I realized is almost like, let me ask you a question. Is it just that people no longer believe that the significant other is capable of turning down advances of others? It seems like that is the thing now. Like it's like send out to drugs and those trifling persons who want to come and make a relationship. That still happens. But it is Monday. I'm here by myself, so you know what that means. I really gonna look forward to you guys calling in, keeping me company while we go through some of the articles that caught our interest over the weekend. There are some very interesting things happening in the world, guys. Some of which we're going to talk about just a bit later. Of course, today being Monday, we should be joined by our friends from the traffic department for traffic talk. And then, of course, during tea time, we kind of, jump into some of those things. But until they get here, I think we should actually just run through some of the articles on tea time. Okay, I just had a traumatic experience. I heard a horn outside sounding like mine. I have this habit of sitting on my keys and setting off the panic alarm at all kind of random times during the night. But hold on, we have somebody want to join the conversation. Let's see what's up. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island Tea. What's up? Lost that caller. Let's see if we have this person. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island Tea. What's up?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Kevin.
Azem, but yeah, morning.
Yeah, morning. I heard you said a while ago that you're longing for the day to come when everybody would be mask free.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have the longing for the day. Yours already start because you're in there by yourself.
You're right. So that is today.
Yeah, when you finish, you just go straight in your house. You don't have to put on a mask.
Yeah, you're right.
So you start yours today, you see. So everybody who wants to be mask free, all they have to do is do like you.
Just be alone.
Yeah, I'm here waiting on my program to start. Policing without pay.
Oh yeah, man. That should be in just a few minutes.
Okay. Well, well at least you ain't got to tell Jade, man, you hitting me with your foot, man. Move your foot.
Yeah, man. I got all the elbow room today.
Definitely. and spin round in your trio. and edge up so and come back so.
Yeah, man, I gotta move left to right today. Party in here.
Okay. Okay, I still log on until the police come in.
All right, man, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man, all the best for Monday.
Yeah, man, blessings. Have a good week.
Right. Yeah, man, you too.
Yeah, man, we're having fun today. I don't see what kind of day today gonna be here. I don't. You see, look, the first call of the day does set the tone, eh? I can tell you something. The first call of the day does set the tone. So I already know what kind of day it is. But yeah, let's actually talk a bit about. Let's give you the COVID update. You know, that's usually where we start. And actually today we have some interesting numbers happening. And this is the situation report for Sunday, 20th February. Confirmed cases in the last 24 hours stands at 0. So no new cases. No recovered cases as well. Were reported yesterday. But, of course, the total number of active cases in the Federation is at 32. So we are seeing a steady decline in the reported numbers. And just for a breakdown, that's 28 in St. Kitts and 4 in Nevis. Right? Unfortunately, over the weekend, I think we had another 2 persons transitioning and as a result of complications due to COVID. And so the number of deaths for this pandemic stands at 42, unfortunately. Deepest sympathies to families that would have lost loved ones. For those of you who are still dealing with the virus, I'm wishing you guys a speedy recovery. We don't want to hear any more. We don't want to see that number going up. Don't see the number going up. Remember vitamin C, take your zinc, drink your tea. Hey, get out in the sun. I ain't tell you go down the road, but get out in the sun, man. Some of y'all what going on with y'all too is y'all busy just liming in your house the whole time, yeah. Oh, got corona, I can't go nowhere, Lord of mercy. No man, come out in your yard, go out on your landing, go out on your back step. Somebody need some sun. Vitamin D. Somebody need some sun, go out in the yard, man. And then, of course, those of us who have recovered or have not yet, dealt with corona, this is still an opportunity for us to make smart and healthy lifestyle choices. So yeah, make sure drink your water, exercise. Hey, a little observation. Since we could go back outside, I realized a lot of I stopped walk and run up and down the place, When we first got out, well, not even that. When we were on lockdown, I hear some people bawling, oh, I can't get to exercise, oh, I can't get to walk, oh, people need to exercise, this thing can kill us if we didn't exercise, yeah, so we need to be healthy, we need to be able to get out to thing, I need to go to the beach, and for some time, for a few months after the lockdown, by people like they was getting off the pandemic weight by. The extra pandemic weight, everybody walking across the golf course, across the bypass. I've seen a steady decline in those numbers. I've seen a steady decline in those numbers. Where the walkers gone? Where the joggers gone? Y'all in the gym now? Y'all changing up your workout? But we have a call on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Yeah, man, I have to come back to you, man. I have to come back.
Mm-hmm.
When things are scarce in St. Kitts, everybody up and down the place, rushing, lining up, causing confusion because it's scarce. So when it's plentiful, then I'm going to say, well, okay, let me buy and put up in advance. It's just like this water. Look at this water. If you throw a stone too hard, you go in the sea.
You're right.
And how many of us like to go in the sea alone to swim? They say, well, you can't fly, so now tell me nothing if me can't swim. But those people in those big cities who cannot see the ocean when they wake up, Every one of them up there could swim. And you know how they learn to swim? They use the community swimming pool. But down here we got the seawater for granted.
Yeah, take it for granted, yeah.
Yeah. And that shouldn't be. Now something is bothering me, man. I don't like what I'm hearing.
Tell me.
I don't remember the year exactly, but it's somewhere between 72 and 73. And if I'm off target, someone could call and correct me. St. Kitts netballers them were the Caribbean, the OECS champion. We beat off the hardest, I should say, because Jamaica never compete in that thing, that tournament. And they have set the trend for our netballers them to follow. And when I listen the games that going on here today, and it concluded yesterday, when I heard how St. Vincent beat us up 60 to 32, I said, no, man, no. This is a shame. Our netball ain't supposed to be that low. Get them kind of blows. Because we used to beat up St. Vincent like knocking on a mango off a tree. You know, and then other countries come and rip us. We come 5th out of 6. I don't know what the coaches will be looking at, if they're not taking in what the coach is giving them, if they're not training hard enough. If you're going to race a mile distance, you don't train for a mile. You train for over a mile. And you have to train hard. If you don't put it in, you cannot get it out. And I would suggest this. They need to do like some of those communist countries. If the communist countries' athletes are not up to par, satisfactory, they're not leaving the island, go represent the island. It's embarrassing. They should come better than that. Everybody could talk about our netballers from 72, 73. They were the Warriors, and they still are the Warriors in the OECS. I don't care what anybody say. Age is only a number. So I set the trend on that. I'm totally disturbed with that.
Yeah.
St. Kitts is known for what you call it, athletic supremacy.
In the OECS, yeah.
Nevis got the edge over us when it comes to cricket. I have to give them their crown. That is theirs. But everything else, St. Kitts right there. So, Mr. Coach for the netball them, come on, man. Come on. Do something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, man. Okay, then.
To be honest, I was following it because last week when they had the opening ceremony, I saw a friend of mine actually posted a picture from this opening ceremony, and I had no idea that the competition was going to be happening. And since then, I've been looking at it, but I just ain't been talking about it because, and like the caller said, rightfully said, like we have a reputation for being one of the top netballing countries in the Caribbean, to be honest. And since in the 70s, yeah, I know. As a matter of fact, he said 72. I'm not sure what year it was that he was speaking about where we won, but I know in 1972, that's when Nevis officially got the start. Don't ask me about another random fact, but yeah, with the help of a lady from Trinidad, I know that's when Nevis officially started their like national netball program. And I remember even during the 2000s, at every level, and even talking just at the national level, I'm talking about at under 13, under 16, under 19. Like, yeah, St. Kitts been one of the powerhouses as it relates to netball. But everything ebb and flow, you know. Everything is a cycle. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And I think that what happens is that we have to look at these these down times and maybe recognize that we may have gotten a bit complacent. And that happens to champions. There's like a champion syndrome, you know. Sometimes you get complacent because you're on top. And everybody else hungry because they're trying to come for your spot. And then you have these little ebbs and flows. But yeah, it does signal that we need some change as it relates to that. And I am a huge netball fan. I was a netball fan ever since one time in PE, the PE teacher for that class, we had to play netball. And when I recognized just how difficult the game was, I became a fan instantly. I thought basketball was a game of skill. Nah. If you never play netball, maybe you don't know, but netball take basketball and like it's like basketball on steroids. You can't bounce the ball like that. You have no backboard. Everybody has their different positions. Marking is, as a matter of fact, I would contend that netball is even more physical than basketball, especially under the new rules now where basketball, if you breathe on somebody to head, is a foul. So I have seen serious injuries happen. I used to go to Netball City in the afternoons just to watch the games. And I think perhaps one of the situations is I think we've seen a decline in the interest in netball. So maybe that's part of the thing too. Maybe a lot of the more athletic young girls, because I think if you want to see success in these sports, you're gonna have to start with the grassroots and children leagues. Perhaps because maybe a lot of the children are, now more interested in football or track and field and stuff like that. And I think it speaks to the fact that we have not really celebrated over the last few years the successes of our netballers. Like we still, everybody still talk about, those netballers from the 80s, especially, the Judiths and them. Everybody still talk about them. But what about the Talissas and the what's the girl's name that used to play in the Jeff that young lady Jeffers? There's a bunch of those like really good internationally recognized netballers. That a lot of time we don't celebrate them. Diane Brown, of course. And I think we don't give them the recognition that they deserve. And so for younger ones coming up, netball might not be as attractive because we don't have those examples that we want to emulate. Right? I mean, when when I was coming up, football and track. I remember my uncle took me to watch my first football game in the park. It was Newtown versus Sadlers. I remember my first game in the park. And he was a Blackburns fan. One time he had Blackburns. And we'll go to the park and watch. As a matter of fact, we'd even go to the park and watch the table tennis. I don't even know where the table tennis got home in St. Kitts anymore. After we built up the cricket stadium, I don't know what ever happened to like table tennis. I don't know where the home is. I know they still have a lot of people playing the game, but I don't know where that is. Where you go to watch table tennis. I don't know. Same thing with track. You'd have had of course Kim and Vance. Later down you'd have had people like Avalon. These people are celebrities. Don't bother talk about Bastille High School sports day. People lining off on the Fifth Farm block. People all on the roof at the Western campus. When you stay on the field and look up at the building, you don't understand how the building ain't collapsing. How much people are up there? People all on the roof at the technical drawing lab. Chairs all up there, like people. But we need to get back to that. But guys, we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna come back because we have our friends from the traffic department here for traffic talk. So stick and stay. Don't go away. We'll be right back right here on Island T and with me, the SKN.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean 1 or 469-5303. DLU Walwyn, people you can trust.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stop drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. Stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. I warn all drivers to take care of your passengers. Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends. Be careful on the road. Slow it down, slow it down. Hey, Roger, watch out for them donkeys.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Win Media SKN. And it is Monday. And so, of course, as I mentioned before the break, we have a friend here in the studio, a not so familiar face. We have Sergeant Henry from the Traffic Department here for Traffic Talk this morning. Sergeant Henry, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
You said it very stern and straight, but yeah, man, free up, relax. This is obviously a new voice for those of you who are accustomed to listening to the show. But I'm very happy to meet new friends. So Sergeant Henry, tell us a bit about what's happening with the Traffic Department and what's happening.
Good morning, radio listeners. It's a pleasure for me to be here to talk to you about Traffic Talk. As the host said, I am Sergeant Henry from the Traffic Department. This morning, I'll be talking to you on lighting on motor vehicles.
Well, people need to hear about that.
Okay. As the regulation states, all motor vehicles other than motorcycle are required to have a minimum of 2 headlights to the front and minimum of 1 red light to the rear. The ray from these lights should be uncolored. Proper lighting is necessary for safe operation of motor vehicles on a road, especially at night. All road users are affected by lighting in some way, hence the use of lights on a motor vehicle at night must be regulated. In recent time, the Traffic Department has seen an increase incident of unlawful use of lights on vehicles, especially the use of blue lights, sometimes in combination with red lights. Only emergency vehicles should be fitted with blue light or anything that looks like blue light, whether working or not. We have even seen, in some cases, persons with flashing blue lights on these vehicles. Remember I said earlier, it's only emergency vehicles must have blue lights.
Right.
We are also seeing persons affixing very bright light bars on their vehicle to the front. Again, the law requires these lights to be approved. In any case, they must be able to be dim or dipped so that the light do not extend more than 20 yards in front of the vehicle. Anybody want to place these lights on their vehicle must apply to the licensing authority, and the licensing authority is the Commissioner of Police.
Okay, so you're speaking about here. You said light bars.
Yes.
What lights are those? Is it that persons are putting lights literally?
In front of the light, in front of the bus.
Also,
So
so
when-
buses is one of the main culprits, you saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And when this happens, you cannot see the number plate
Oh.
because it's already person. Right.
Okay. Okay. But if so, it's not that it's not doable, but you'd have to seek permission and have it approved.
Yes, you must approve. It must be approved by the Commissioner of Police.
Okay. All right. Understood. Understood. We actually have some persons on the call. You want to take some calls?
Sure.
All right. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. What's up? Okay, we lost that caller, but we have someone else trying to get in. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Yeah, good morning to you and the officer there. Yes, hello?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good morning to both of you there. I don't know. Oh, God, let me put it another way. If these buses have all these lights that is not allowed, but then how do you prevent them from doing that? Because you got to catch these people and give them tickets, because you keep hearing this thing about lighting all the time, and I don't remember you coming on traffic department coming and say, well, look, we summoned 3 or 4 people this week. That might be a deterrent if you have to bring these people before the court. Because it to me, it doesn't make any sense keep talking about it. No disrespect, talking about it, and you're not coming on and saying that you're issuing any summons to these people. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. It's easy for you to spot a light, but in my case, it's very hard to spot a man who, especially you're coming out there by jam. People, for some reason or another, don't understand that you cannot pass me on the hill there by jam, oncoming traffic. You try to beat vehicles going around there, especially the one there by the airport. The one by the airport there, and the one going towards Rams, that is the one there by the ECCB. People would not wait. They see you coming, you're on the right away, but they mean they have to beat you to it. And there's so many accidents. I am not wishing anybody would die, but there's so many accidents happening, and some may God is, some may in the midst, and nothing really serious where people end up dying. We don't want that to happen. But I don't know why I could do it. I can. When you come to, maybe I need to start summoning people more often, because there are too many accidents. Just recently I saw there some accident on the Peninsula Road. So many accidents. I do not know why I could do, police officer. Honest to God. But when you come to the light, I believe that you all can set up and catch these people with the lighting that is prohibited and summon them. Thank you for your time, officer.
Thank you, sir. But I do not have the stats in how many persons we have ticketed with those lights, but we usually go out at night and we issue tickets. I will try and get the stats for you another time, sir. Also, you're not supposed to overtake on a hill. It's an offense, because even when you go for your driver's license, that is one the question usually asks. So it's an offense to overtake on a hill, because you cannot see what is coming over there.
Yeah, it's not only illegal, it's senseless. But we have another caller. We have another caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning, I'm back again,
Morning, man.
Yeah, man, this is police without pay. Good morning, Mr. Henry.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, he come like me good friend, you copy off of his slate. Because all what he say, I want to concur with him. Because these are things we have been talking about these here for years. And his only sense alone could tell anybody, how can you jump in the waters, head on and the water black? You don't know what's in there. Take your time going there. So nobody's supposed to overtake round a curve under the crest of a hill until you could reach up on the hill and you could see straight ahead. But, like you said, maybe you all need to just, when you catch me breaking the law by doing ignorance, which can endanger someone else, innocent person life, publish my name, let the whole world know that I'm an ignorant driver, and carry them down Mr. Limo house with a little pittance of money. That is not good enough. According to what they get into, how they get into accident, take with their license for a year up. Well, this blue lights business now that you talk about, that these people have anything. I know what you're talking about. When you see them coming from a distance and they're coming closer, you say, well, okay, there is an emergency vehicle coming. When you look, it isn't that. It's private people vehicle, whether it's public service vehicle or privately owned vehicle. They're putting them in front there, and they've been doing that now for years, not just this morning here. So we want to know, when you ask someone them, if the police in charge of the police don't hear these complaints on the radio. Well, I am saying this. When we make any complaint to you all, write them down and carry them and give them to the commission and tell them these are the problems we had out here on the road. These and the people talking about them for weeks and months and years. Now, the last thing, I want to say I thank whosoever went down 1925 corner in the country between Challengers and Trinity and chopped down the tree that was growing on the barrier wall fence. Because we have been talking about that for a couple of months now, and at least it never fall on deaf ears no longer. So I want to thank the person who went to cut it down. Because I've been criticizing about it, and now we come down, I want to say I thank them very much for addressing that problem. Thank you. I'll continue to listen.
All right, thank you, Carlo, for your input.
Thank you, sir. As I stated earlier, it is an offense to have lighting on your vehicle. That is contrary to regulation. That's why today I'm talking about this on the program. Regulation 18.1, I'm just not talking because I want to talk.
Right.
Here's where the regulation states. Every motor vehicle shall be equipped with at least 2 lamps at the front of the vehicle, 1 on each side, and when a motor vehicle is in motion on a road at night, the 2 lamps at the front of the vehicle shall be lighted, and the ray from the lamp shall be uncolored. Remember, I am speaking about the blue and the colored lights. Mm-hmm. So these uncolored lights are an offense. Regulation 17H, except with the permission again of the examining officer, there shall not be affixed to the front or the rear of the motor vehicle any letters or figures other than those on the identification plate or unlighted lamps.
Understood. We actually have someone commenting on the live speaking about the brake lights. Someone says almost got into 2 accidents on Friday because of people without brake lights stopping short. So that just go ahead. That goes to speak to the importance of make sure these lights are functioning properly.
Yes.
But we have someone else trying to get in on the conversation. Good morning, caller. You're live and Traffic Talk.
Hello, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. I'm glad that I've made it to 2022. Anyway, what I really called to talk about, my favorite thing, the lights as well. How could you have the vehicles already have on these new stickers on the front of them, and they don't have any number plate light on them? Some of them have on one defect. You could only see one side of the number plate light. And then don't talk about this bar that is bought from one of these private places in town where these people put on in front. You could hardly see whether you're walking or driving. That is not good. But I want you to tell me about how could you just cut down the new sticker and they don't have any number plate lights? And if they can't find out who is responsible for inspecting some of these vehicles and do something about it. Thank you.
Well, I think thank you, caller. I think what the caller is suggesting is that you have persons whose vehicles aren't really up to code, but they have brand new inspection stickers, meaning they had to get inspected somewhere. And the example that he used for not being up to code was that some of the that they don't have the license plate lights operational. And so I think that's what he suggested. I think I might go out on a limb and suggest that he's saying perhaps, there was a fault in the inspection, and so perhaps there needs to be somewhere to look at who did the inspection as well to try and prevent these types of things from slipping through the cracks.
Okay, with the lighting on number plate, the rear number plate is supposed to be lighted, that anybody who's traveling behind a vehicle must be able to identify that vehicle in front of them by the number plate.
Mm-hmm.
For the front, you don't have to have a number. You do not have to have a light into the front. But for the back, it must be lighted.
Right.
And that is an offense also if the personal light is not illuminated on the number plate.
Yeah, I think he's just saying that there's some number plates that aren't visible, but they seem to have been recently inspected. So I think that's where his concern was. But we have another caller. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. What's up? Okay, I think we lost that caller. Oh, I have a question. Since you're speaking about lighting on vehicles, I know some people do these lights on the underside of their vehicle. Does the law speak to those lights? Are those legal, illegal? Some people may do lights where it's like the underside of the vehicle is lit.
We do not have that, but the color of the light is what we're speaking about. Some people have it on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing in law to say that it's an offense.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have another caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. Oh, we lost our caller. Someone else trying to get in. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. Please feel free to call back. We have a few minutes left. So if you want to get in on the conversation. But yeah.
But when we're out at night doing these traffic stops or the VCPs, whatever you call it, and we observe these things, we give the person a ticket because the offense has been committed, and we also let them take it off.
Oh, okay.
Some people are saying you cannot charge me twice, but you already committed the offense, so we're stopping it by giving you the ticket and making you take it off, because if we let you drive along, the offense is committed still.
Right, okay. Understood. We have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Greetings.
Good morning.
PB number PB 2362, approximately 8:20, 8:25. This driver almost knocked me off my bicycle on the Bay Road. We are warning drivers, we don't drive carefully, because when uno don't drive careful and kill people, it ain't all the time it's gonna be courthouse, It will be a tit for tat. When I take time on the road.
Well, the caller seems to be highly annoyed.
Okay, I have write down the information that you have given, sir, and when I reach back to the traffic department, I will get in touch with the person who was driving the vehicle at the time.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. We have another call on the line. Caller, good morning. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to stray a little bit from the lighting situation. I mean, you've been kind of straightforward with what you're saying about the light, and I agree, especially with these flashing like blue, yellow, red, all kind of color flashing headlights from people. Anyway, my other issue is over at Cockershell Bay, or Cockershell Beach, or Reggae Beach, whatever you want to call it, that area between where the asphalt ends and go all the way up to the little dock there, I don't know if traffic could coordinate with Public Works, because every Sunday there's a whole entourage of people with vehicles, and the vehicles them are not parked properly, because one of the situation is the brush and the acacia trees and so forth, how they go. If traffic could liaise with Public Works to get a lot of those brush and acacia trees pushed aside so people could park better. Yesterday there was a situation over there that is not really connected with, the parking, but it's an issue over there on a Sunday afternoon, because it seems like that is not a spot now that people go online every Sunday afternoon, and you have other issues over there as well. But traffic is a big problem over there, because people park all kind of how people are going to say, oh, it's not a public road. But if police could ticket and if people could commit offenses on private property, then police could also go and try to rectify the situation over there when it comes to parking. Okay, because sometimes in your vehicle you can't even park because of people it's like people just stop and park. They don't even park properly so other vehicles could pass. And I'm sure the police, I don't know about traffic, but the police sometimes patrol over there. And I see the situation, especially on a Sunday, from maybe about midday till about 5, 6 o'clock. And a lot of activities go on over there. So I don't know if you could go and check it out for me, please. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes, well, I have written down your concerns, sir. But some people are supposed to have consideration for other road users. Some people just drive for themselves and not for others. So I have taken down your concern and I will look into it.
Yeah, I could speak to the situation yesterday. I happened to be over there, and people just park anywhere. It made it really difficult to maneuver. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Hi, good morning. How are you this morning?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Henry.
Good morning.
I have two concerns. What I realize now, every afternoon, every single day, I see people driving, coming from school with their children, standing in their vehicles. If these people have to stop suddenly, those children gone through the windscreen. So I would like to know if the law is not applied to that situation anymore. Concerning the tint, oh my God, I don't think you are doing a good job on tinting. I don't think so at all. Because there are too many vehicles out there still, you cannot see not even the shadow of the individual. You understand? So I don't think that you are doing a good job on the tinting. But concerning the children in those vehicles, I think you are going to have to come out in the daytime and look for these people, because the end of the day is the children is going to suffer. You understand? The children is going to suffer, and as adults, sometimes we act like we don't have any sense. You understand? And I just see too much nonsense happening in the traffic. People overtaking 6 and 7 cars. They're coming down when they're supposed to be on the left, they're on the right. The person who's supposed to come up on the right, they're abusing them because they're on the wrong side. There's too much people out there that get license. I don't think they should have license, because they're just driving because they have a thing and they're pressing the gas. I'm going behind a wheel, I'm going. They are not reading the streets. They are not reading, see who coming from left now, right? They're just, okay, have a car, the gas in the car, pressing boom, 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 and they're going. You understand? But you all got your all hands full, and I think you all should, look into people going in the future before you hand out a license, because a car is just as deadly as a gun. So we have to be careful with the people that we have out there on the street, especially the young ones, them. The life they say may be their very own. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. You spoke about the seat belt. That is still in law. And anybody who have a child under the age of 5 without a seat belt or a car seat, it's an offense. Even if you're under 14, as the law states, A child between 5 and 14 can sit anywhere in the vehicle, but the person must have on a seatbelt. And if a police see that person or the child, the driver will get a ticket, and the ticket is $250. You spoke about tint. Up to the 12th of this month, we went out, and we issue about 12 tickets for tint. But the thing is when we ticket person and we make them take it off, by 2 days after, you see the tint back on the vehicle. So we just keep giving them tickets and making them take it off. Some people, maybe they have more money than sense, so that's why they're doing it.
Totally understand, but we're going to take one more call. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. Okay, we lost that caller. We have a few questions on the live. Someone is speaking about vehicles stopped at a red light or at another stop, and having either motorcycles, scooters, for example, passing and moving to the front of the line. They're asking if that is within the legal right to do so, or is that something that the law speaks to? Like people jump in the line when they maybe, maneuvering on smaller vehicles.
That's an offense, but because they think they are small, they can squeeze through anything. But it's an offense. They're not supposed to be doing it.
That's what I thought. That's what me doing is passing us. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. What's up?
We're listening to all this, police officer, but you're not catching them. That is the problem, You're not catching them. That is the problem. I don't know what else you all can do. You're not them. When I drive around town, you see the amount of problem, especially turn signal. If people put on the turn signal, officer, then we can help to move the traffic along. Where you go there by the F.T. William, but just about jam. You see a fellow coming around. You think you're going F.T. William highway, so you stop. Naturally, you're supposed to stop. Next thing, bam, he turned to go down there by the Moravian Church. They won't put on the turn signal. I was listening to something in Providence there, and they talk a lot about people not putting on the turn signal. Lord, it is so easy to put on your turn signal. You can make life a much easier for the other driver. Put on your turn signal. Nothing you could do unless I in the traffic to stop them and bring them a ticket. There's nothing I could do, You could talk from now till doomsday. People put on your turn signal. You'll make life much easier, and the traffic will be able to flow much better. Lord, thank you.
I agree with you, sir. Because even when they go for their license, that is something they're being taught. You must use the signal. But when we get our license, everything gone out. But it will be easier for us. And especially when you don't do them things, there's been many accidents are caused.
All right, we probably have time for just one last call since the phone lines are going crazy. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
If a member of parliament or minister of government commits a traffic offense, such as not wearing their seat belts, speeding, going through a traffic light, do you have the authority to issue them, or a traffic warden have the authority to issue them a ticket?
Crickets.
Yeah. Yes, sir. A traffic warden can issue anyone a ticket if an offense has been committed. Or a police officer.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, as I stated earlier, anyone want to put on any extension of lights on the vehicle, remember you must apply to the licensing authority, and the licensing authority is the Commissioner of Police. If you do it without the Commissioner of Police signature, when the police officers go out on duty, you'll be ticketed, and these tickets are cost $100. For the way how life is going right now, I don't think nobody want to get ticket for $100, because the first thing you're going to say, if the police have to stop you more than once, you're going to say the police is running with you. It's not that. Sometimes The persons are who put themselves in the position for the police to do such thing.
Understood. Well, Sergeant Henry, appreciate you coming in and joining us today to talk about, lights and what the laws actually say in relation to lighting on the vehicle. Hopefully, persons take heed and adhere to what the law says. And of course, it's always fun for us here meeting new friends. Hopefully you're back with us in the future. Could we expect to see you from time to time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So guys, we have a new friend right here on the Island T family for Traffic Talk. Any final words before we wrap up?
I'm just asking the general public to be cautious when you're driving. Because as the lady said earlier, the life you save might be your very own. So be careful on the road when you're driving and adhere to the signs and everything you're going to see from the traffic department. Thank you.
All right, guys. And that was this week's edition of Traffic Talk. We're going to see you guys again next week. Remember, it's Monday, starting at 8:30 to 9. And we'll see you again, as I said, next week for more Traffic Talk. Stay tuned for more Island Tea coming up right after this.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Dealing well with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Here are your hostels, Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag Valentine's Special.
Running February 10 to the 23rd.
Essential everyday pancake mixes and pancake syrups, $8.99 each. Pure bath tissue, $19.99. Minute Maid punch, $7.99. Sunny Delight drink, $6.99. IGA or essential everyday frozen vegetables, $5.99. Nabisco chips ahoy, $14.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Essential everyday ketchup, $4.49. Essential everyday apple juice and cider, $7.99. Suavitel fabric softener, $15.99. Dawn dish liquid soap, $11.99 each. The Colgate toothpaste, $7.99. General Mills cereals, Lucky Charms, Honey Nut Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, all $17.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Joan, in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. I'm your fave, as I'm here by myself today, but having fun with you guys all on the live and all you guys listening and calling in. Appreciate you so much. But we're gonna move on with more tea time. Before we left and spoke to our friends from the traffic department, we are speaking about sports and sports development. And during the break, I remember I was just thinking about going to Netball City and watching netball. But one of the things I used to also go there and look at was volleyball. And I think volleyball is one of those things too that seem to have, not so much interest as well. And we've had some really, really good volleyball teams. Both the hard court and beach volleyball. Big up my friend Janelle Howell, Janelle Howell Lake, who is an amazing volleyball player. We had people like Sean Seabrooks and stuff like that who really took the sport seriously and would have represented St. Kitts on multiple platforms. So really hoping to see, if we could re-energize some of these sports, man. And it's so much fun, man. Netball, volleyball, table tennis, all these things is gone in the park. I don't know. It seems like we're dropping the ball somewhere there. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island Tea. What's up?
I like your continuation, man.
Yeah, I'm Penny. Yeah, man, for sure. You agree with the sports?
How you mean, man? Look, I don't know if you hear about Vinci and Lappy. Two thoroughbred bicycle racer in the Warner Park.
Oh, yeah. I've heard.
Right, this is the Vinci and Lappy somewhere about walking.
Oh,
and
okay.
just like football, when we got bicycle racing in the park, you could not see the trees, the lower trunk of the trees on the hill for people. And that is how we used to have in there with bicycle racing. Now, another thing again. A lot of these youngsters who have a lot of energy to be wasting at night and doing all kind of negative foolishness. Why they don't get into boxing? Boxing is a thing, a man can become a millionaire in one fight in a night,
That's true. We're seeing that a lot now.
Yeah, put your energy into it. Do what is right. Train hard. Give your body the correct rest that it needs. Eat right. And make sure you focus. Look at people who are greater than you. And train from them. And you go there and you establish yourself. And like I said, in one night's fight, once you reach up to the rank of recognition and you get a good fight, you become a millionaire right there rather than wasting your time doing nothing. Wasting your energy, polluting your lungs them with all kind of negative thing that not supposed to be in the human body. Makes you know it. There are money to be made in sports. Money to be made in it, people, young fellows. You get up, get some ambition, put it together, and make it. We were there. When we were there, no money were there. All the cricketers them used to play in Warner Park for it just a plate of red peas and rice and sweet potato and 2 chicken wings. And some swank.
And some swank. Don't forget the swank.
And they never used to get no money, but they had a love and passion for the cricket.
That's
until
true.
these other load of young ones come after. I don't know about it. They got too much distraction here.
But maybe that's part of it too, Maybe part of it is seeing some of the older generation putting so much time and energy into this thing and seemingly getting nothing from it. Seemingly, because we know there was a lot to gain from being a part of these activities. Whether it is health-wise, whether it is the relationships you would have made, whether it's discipline, whether it is learning interpersonal relationships and all these things. But sometimes when you see people just putting in all this time and hard work and effort, and people looking to see that monetary compensation and they don't see it, the kind of people shy away from it.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying.
Let me share an experience with you. In the 70s, I was working for the government. I was driving for the health department. And all the time there we bicycle racing, swinging top sky, high sky. You hear about Cloud 9? Is up there we were.
Mm-hmm.
And one meet in the park, we had one guy from Curacao and 3 from St. Martin and 2 from Antigua.
Okay.
And we were in there. And the oldest guy on the track, he was from St. Martin. He was 52 years old.
Hmm.
And I was 26. And the first race and the second race, as usual, I clean up. Then
Okay.
his manager, one of his manager was a big gambler. And he come down to me and he said to me like this, man, I want you to sell out the race for me, man. And let the 52-year-old man beat me. I said, partner, come and tell you something. The kind of money that I working for right now, I had 2 children, house rent and all of that, was just $44 a week.
Hmm.
And if I did sell out the race where he wanted to pay me $300 to let that man, 52-year-old man, beat me, I would have been a millionaire them time.
Right.
It would have been US. But you know what I tell him? You see all those people in Warner Park here, I have them on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
If I hurt one of them, if I lose a race, they feel it more than me. So I want the money, but I can't do it.
Right.
I say, any selling out of any race, it will have to be a Kittyshon to beat me. No foreigners. Once a Kittyshon beat me, it's okay, still a Sinkis man. But a foreigner and a man 52 years, no way, can't happen. So when all those people, spectators in the park, when they leave the park and you hear them cussing and abusing and going on, how could I go home, go sleep? When I know I deliberately hurt the feeling.
Right.
That is the love and passion you have to have before you go into what you're going. Some people go into sport because they hear people talking. Oh, the fella make a good shot, but he look good.
Mm-hmm.
They want him to talk about him. No, going because you love it. And when you love it, you ain't going to put no money in front. You put your pride in front.
Right. Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. What part
man, ask me anything, man.
What part of the island you were living at this particular time when you were racing?
Down up between Buckley's and down Lower Foynes Avenue.
Okay. So the reason I ask you that is when I hear people talk about the bike races of the past, I remember a person saying at one particular time it seemed as though most of the champions were coming from Saddlers. Like I know there's a rich traditional. I know there's a rich traditional cyclist from Saddlers.
Yeah, no, well, not in my time. The bicycle racing that used to come from Saddlers was a clear-skinned man by the name of Molly.
Yes, I've heard that name before, yeah.
Yeah, well, I never even know how to come in tongue yet in them days when them guys used to race in the park. And he had another guy by the name Buchanan, they used to call him Iceman from Keon.
Mm.
He was bony like a toothpick. And Molly was more thick body.
Mm.
So Molly was what you call a one steady pace man. And Iceman, as small and thin as he was. He was the go-getter. He was the sprinter.
Mm.
And I happened to meet Iceman in St. Thomas. But Molly, I think he did. So I never met him. But those days where you hear about the Molly and the Bowitt and the Samson and them, no, man, when them they're going, I think, I never even started with pants yet.
Understood. Well, I would suspect that those people who live in the further parts, might have to ride the bike daily, miles upon miles. They just going to work is training.
Mm-hmm.
So they got an advantage.
And look, once you were from the country and you were riding a bike, you could have killed anybody in town.
Mm.
Just like you said, because that was the way of transportation.
Right.
They could not afford to pay a truck. So therefore, the man used to race truck and go back. I admire them. I admire those guys. And if I were in those days, I would have had to go live in the country too to get fit like them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All right, man, I appreciate you calling.
A chance to come through here.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, if anything, I'll call back.
All right.
But if you do not have the love for something, don't go in it for the money.
I can't agree more.
Because many a times when I training, and but sometimes if nobody there, I go by myself. Doesn't matter where. And when you feel the strain, when you have to go up a steep hill and the sun hot, you say, boy, my father never sent me to this. My mother was. But I'm into it because I love it.
Right.
Yeah, so I listen.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Thanks. All right, guys. But yeah, we're really hoping to see a increase in the interest and energy behind some of these sports. And so, I mean, in times past, St. Kitts was. I hear people talk about the domination of Kittitian athletes in some of these disciplines, and you got to ask yourself, well, one, why aren't these people still celebrated today? And two, what happened to the continuation of these endeavors? Boxing, you talk about fighting hunks and stuff like that. I mean, when I travel, people still talk to me about hunks. You understand? And so much people here don't even know who this is. These people is like icons, national icons, and we just, I don't know. Boxing, where's the boxing gym? If I want to send my son to go learn boxing now, where you go? Somebody on the live, let me know. I know there was a boxing club that used to happen in Dorset Park. I don't know if it happens still. I don't know. But guys, we're gonna move on a bit and talk about the bane of our existence, COVID. But I saw this article and it was very interesting. And the headline reads: Wilkinson emphasizes need for the elderly to be vaccinated, presents option for in-home vaccination service. It says the St. Kitts Nevis COVID-19 situation report number 687. Is so much of them? 687 dated Friday, February 18th, 2022 shows a decline in active COVID-19 cases, but an increase in COVID-19 related deaths. Currently, there are 29 active cases in the Federation. Let me see when this was from. Oh, and this is from this article is from February 19th, so there's some update to the numbers. 5 persons are currently hospitalized. Health officials have also recorded 2 additional COVID-19 deaths recorded on St. Kitts, bringing the total to 42, 35 in St. Kitts, 7 in Nevis. When media contacted Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, Medical Chief of Staff at the Joseph Nathaniel France General Hospital, who confirmed the deaths and provided brief details on the situation, he explained, yesterday we added 7 new cases and 2 more deaths. These, again, were elderly and unvaccinated. While we are out of the acute phase of the 4th wave and are relaxing restrictions, the pandemic is not over and the virus is still here and continues to be a death sentence for some. But it does not have to be so. So far, we have had 14 deaths in this 4th wave. 13 of them were unvaccinated, 13 of them elderly and were not out and about. This overemphasizes the need for us to be a brother's keeper. We all need to make sure that all who should be vaccinated go out to the clinics to get their shots and prevent this virus from being a death sentence for some. The Omicron variant, the dominant variant strain in circulation globally and locally, was said to be less severe. However, the severity of the strain is affected by how protected one is against the virus, and the trend over the past few weeks of the 4th wave of the transmission shows that unvaccinated elderly individuals are at risk. Dr. Wilkinson appealed for them to be vaccinated, so if someone unknowingly takes the virus home, the elderly would be better protected. He also mentioned that there is an available opportunity for the elderly who are unable to move around to get vaccinated. If there is an elderly person who cannot make it to the clinic, we have organized for them to be vaccinated. You just have to call the nearest health center and that will be sorted out. According to Wilkinson, the clinically vulnerable or individuals with multiple medical conditions still remain at risk. He, therefore, used the opportunity to stress the importance of vaccination and personal responsibility. So, guys, what we're seeing here is acknowledgement of who is most at risk, and there's a plea being made for those persons to go out and get vaccinated. I also want to, highlight the fact that he mentioned there is the option for you to have someone visit the home of persons who it may be difficult for them to move about for whatever reason, and have them vaccinated. And the information was that you should call your nearest health center, and that would be sorted out for you. Now, this is something that I've been speaking about the last few weeks, the acknowledgement of the fact that we see trends developing about who is most at risk. I'm hoping also that we see the the protocols that are put in place take that into account. And we see some movement there. I think if, for instance, if the vaccine is to prevent serious illness and death, then of course the persons who are most at risk of getting severely ill and perhaps having that even lead to death, there should be a focus on really getting them vaccinated. But then again, I am a health professional. I just Amanda come on here and talk with my mind now and again. But good morning. We have a call on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning, Bless.
Morning.
Yes, I call to big up culture. We see the same bike man was just speaking there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want him to know me the Douglas man, right? But Quincy is a great man in St. Kitts for real, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's a man. I saw the race he want to pass. He's a white boy, so he said him trying to pay my payment for the race.
Wait.
Yeah. Quincy is one of the quickest man I ever seen in St. Kitts riding bike. I feel like an idol to me, so I used to worship this man, okay?
Right.
This man is quick, trust me, brother. When I went to the park, and then there was a couple laps around the track, a load of laps after laps. And we saying, go, Quincy, go! Go, final thing, I tell you, tell you what you know. And they need to do something about the film culture. They need to pick him up and think it, you know what I mean? Promote him as the better. I mean, it's him as well, he and Dougie fall at the car for that same reason, bike reason, but they need to look into culture. He's a real idol for St. Kitts in the cycling world, trust me. Yeah, I've been blessed.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Thanks for your input. Yes, sir. Well, culture, somebody said they see the race by. They said the quickest thing ever see. But yeah, guys, I think that we really are going to have to begin tailoring the protocols that we are seeing based on the evidence that we've been able to gather, right? And so when we start talking about restricting certain persons and using the vaccination status of these persons to determine how they interact with the rest of society, I think that also should be based on the level of risk that person has to the disease. And as we've been seeing, there's certain comorbidities and different variables that put you most at risk. So I think that definitely has to be put into consideration, and it's being admitted by the health professionals at least. But we have another call on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning, Azim. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you.
And I say you're minding old people business.
Bye. I like old people business. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, man. You walk away feeling proud. Well, I am from the village. I'm from Hainsmith.
Mm-hmm.
And the village had 3 of the top cyclists. The first man to beat all the countrymen was a man named Percy. Possible?
Okay.
From the village. Because there was no beating Samson and the other two. There was no beating. And you know, he said, what he noticed that every afternoon, when Kadesh work at the factory, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they're going home, who go in Cayon, they go West Farm Way. So they ride the opposite way to their home.
They
So
go,
you know,
they go long way.
long way. The one from halfway tree, Samson, them, he going Cayon way. So he said when he noticed that, he decided, all right, he going to try the same technique, eh?
Right.
So instead of coming straight up the village, he used to go the Cayon way, the long way. Right? And so he developed the stamina, because stamina, you know.
But that's what I've heard from several people when they're talking about them. They said that when they recognize, but all these people from the country winning is because they're basically going on the island every day.
But not only that, imagine you work all day. 'Cause, you know, we say, Lord, we're going to sleep. After working hard all day, you want to ride that bike, and then you have the motor on it like these new ones, all the way home.
Right around the island, eh?
Yeah, and the island ain't shrink. The road in the same location except for down by challenges and so.
Right.
Long haul, some of them have hills. And then Borate. Borate used to live, you know, where the artists have their business? Up, if you know, up the village. Actually, you have the sound system and all of that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Right is where Borate come from. Borate was a mix of a Portuguese and a black person.
Okay.
Man, he went all accused of Venezuela and win races, you know. Those were in the 30s, eh?
Wow.
At one time he went, I don't know if it's accused of Venezuela, and he won the race. And when he came home, he got hero. They said the whole pier. You see the short one that used to be down by the treasury?
Yeah.
Man, the pier line off and people line up as if the governor come.
As it should be.
Yeah, well, don't talk about when Vinci ride in. All the village people line up by the top of Cayon Street. Are we going back to see Vinci?
No.
You know, and so even though they weren't being paid the amount of adulation they got from the population, just like how when Kim won,
Right.
that is how we feel. And so our young people, they need to know that money isn't everything.
Right.
Kim can't buy what he got with money, you know. From the time Kim win the race, the whole of St. has gone crazy. I was in my living room jumping up, you know?
Yeah.
And so a lot of our young people, you know, they must think about it, their ways. You know, the Queenland, remember in the Queenland, they used to be prominent in the volleyball. And they used to go out there and beat up people. But maybe what we need is in the schools, they need to, because they're now doing cricket and so. Volleyball, I know the high school is volleyball, they do it still, do they?
I know they used to, I don't know about now. They used to even have inter-school volleyball, basketball, those things. Yeah, I don't know how popular they are anymore. It don't seem like they're happening.
And even domino. A lot of the old men and them playing domino. You know, our young people, they need to be taught out. It is not just matching.
That's true.
You know, organize, you got the OECS. Imagine that you win the OECS crown. So they got to be something to achieve, or go play football. Something that gives them value among their peers. So even though you have the inter-school OECS games, you remember they have all those kind of games? So whenever you step up on the plate, you whole country behind you. We have got to get back to that where our people carry the burden, call it the burden of the country on the back.
Yeah.
And the pride. And we now have a flag. Can't beat it. So, you know, I want to commend Percy died. He lived in England for years. And when he came back, he died in an accident on his way home one day. But Barrett died of old age. And Vinci has a very lively spirit, you know. He has had double amputation. And you can't keep him down. That is how we're supposed to live our lives, you know, to help other people. And my good friend Hunks, my husband, good friend. Still, you know, you're laid aside, but you're still motivated.
Right.
So there's something to be gained You know, and I want to encourage Kim Collins. Don't become discouraged easy. Because the younger children going to say, well, who is Kim Collins? You know, sometimes they think he dead or something. No, it's true. I remember one day my granddaughter came home. She took up Roman school. Granny, Dr. Simon dead?
But when you're 10, 15 years ago, seem like a eternity, you know.
Yeah, 'cause, you know, especially if it's the first prime minister. They think maybe the first prime minister must be the first settler. You know? She was convinced. I said, girl, no, the man alive. How are you alive? I said,
and he was the first.
So sometimes we need maybe a national heroes there also. We need to bring out a lot of our older people who made the nation proud. We need to bring them out. Women who play the netball and cricket. I mean, a lot of stuff. They used to have a lot of village cricket.
I also think
we see what happened when the people get children, they're married, they settle down. The younger ones, so maybe we need to have more young people mix in with the older people. So we'll have longevity. But if everybody all alike, everybody going to retire about the same time. You know, so God bless all those who contributed to the country.
Right, for real. Thank you so much. Well, that actually leads me into the next article that I was going to speak about, and it really speaks to honoring persons who would have contributed to development of the nation. And when we're speaking about sports in particular, I think we need these things need homes. Like, that's one of the things I recognize about being in the US. Like, all these places, all these things have homes, From the smallest activity to the biggest. You have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you have hip hop. You have the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. You have the Grammys. You have all these things. You have places where domino players, poker players. Like, if you are a fan of poker, you could go and look at some of the history of poker and those persons who have contributed to its development. It don't matter what it is. There's a place for you to go and to really appreciate, you know, the journey. We don't really have that here, especially for sports. We do it a lot for politicians, and that's what I'm actually going to talk about now, because in Nevis, there says there's a museum honoring the museum is honoring Sir Simeon Daniel. That's been opened now. A dream of the Daniel family of Nevis to honor patriarch and national hero Sir Simeon Daniel is a reality, as a museum to recognize his life and work is finally open. The opening ceremony for the Right Excellent Sir Simeon Daniel Museum in the Belmont Gardens took place last evening, and this happened, last evening. Sir Daniel was Nevis's first premier, and is credited with establishing many institutions that benefit the people of the island to this day. He passed away in 2012 at the age of 77. His daughter, Susan, told guests that her father worked hard for the people of Nevis without craving recognition. He truly believed in country above self, so what he did for Nevis was effortless. I am so proud that there's a place where generations to come can visit and learn and understand what my dad did for the betterment of Nevis, she remarked. Dionysia Daniel, granddaughter of Sir Daniel, said the family is excited to share their patriarch with the island's youth and visitors, since his journey will inspire them to do great things. When a child sees a man, not only from Barnsgut, but from our little island of Nevis achieving so much, they will see that anything they can believe will be possible to achieve, she said. The museum features multimedia displays of the founding father, along with a memorial, personal effects, books, and other exclusive items that were collected over the last few years. Congratulations to the Daniel family and the people of Nevis on the opening of the museum. And these are the things I love to see. I love to see when we are able to really support and give credit where credit is due for persons who would have done great things. Hopefully this trend is something that follows, because as we've been saying all morning, it's definitely necessary. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T.
Azim,
Morning.
yeah, this is the village man. You see what I was telling you?
Right.
The gentleman who called in before Mrs. Henry. The last time I raced in Warner Park was 1979.
Wow.
And then after that was overseas I went, and I've been racing all over the place. And it doesn't matter where I go. They're going to say, Vincent Benjamin from St. Thomas. I say, but I'm a native of St. Kitts.
Mm-hmm.
I live in St. Thomas, but I'm a native of St. Kitts. So St. Thomas ain't going to get all the praises, and St. Kitts ain't get none.
Right.
So you hear the passion Miss Henry and the guys spoke about me. Well, that is only 2 out of the thousands in Warner Park, and that time all you had to pay to come in to see 7 races is $1. And managed to jump the wall, you know.
Watch out, one cigar wall, somebody can jump it. One cigar wall, somebody can jump it. It could be free and all.
And one time, you know, I see a fella jump the wall, and 2 army men hold him and fling him back over the wall. So I don't know if he come in. Well, I can tell you something now. Whenever I come from St. Thomas and I home here on a while, on some little long vacation, every morning 9 o'clock I would go over the Southeast Peninsula. That time over there never started developing up yet. And from the moment I reach over there, I never stop riding my bike training over there until 3 o'clock. When I leave from over and I come back in, my skin black look and armor all tired. That is how much I love riding bike. And tomorrow, if my wheel them that come short, right now I'm using 2 pram wheel. And if they should go back, you will see me on my bike again, because age is just a number.
Right.
I don't want to associate myself with age. I associate myself with love and ability. And I remember one afternoon after over Southeast Peninsula for all those hours, when I come back in, I was coming up the first hill there to go down in Frigate Bay. I passed 3 young fellows coming up there on the bicycle, and they were in about 13 to 15. And when I passed on, I coming up the hill, because I just see a little bit of white here on my head. They say, Miam, look, the old man going up and we walking. I say, oh, you saw your young, come on, let's go. Come up. Now, here what I'm going to say now, and a lot of men going to say, you know the amount of girlfriend I had when I was racing bike, and I lose a couple of them because I wouldn't pay them no attention.
Hey, careful.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay, let me call them fans.
Right.
Right, yes. Sorry about the first word. Because I was so in love with my bike that I couldn't sleep at night when I was coming up. I out there in the living room watching my bike, sit down on the bike and say, well, okay, this is how I can be when that come and that come.
You're visualizing.
Right, exactly. And Miss Henry is right. Mr. Bowitt, they were racing in the 1930s and 40s around here. And up to when I started racing in Warner Park, Mr. Bowitt was my local coach. He gave me a lot of hints.
Okay.
But then what I used to do now, I was up to date with the world cycling champions, them and the Tour de France and all the races that they have over there. And I would learn from what they write in the papers. And according to how they say they were training and whatnot, I do the same thing. And I even write 2 of them. Never know the address, but I write them and they got the letter. And I ask them certain questions, and they answer me, and I learn, put the answers into practice, and I move on from there.
Oh.
So if I could do that, anybody else could do it.
So how you think we bring back cycling here? Like what you think we would need to do?
Okay. First of all, you're gonna have to have a place suitable that you would I don't know. I don't know if they will use any place to make a proper cycling velodrome, a track. Because the proper cycling track, it has to be banked.
Right.
You have two long sides and two short sides. The short side is the curve. And the curve, it's supposed to be steeper, much steeper than the two long sides. But I don't know if there's any land for that.
I mean, for me, what I'm thinking is more of, I don't know if this is the correct term, but like the road racing, the cross country, because everybody talk about the what's the one in France that everybody,
Tour de France.
right, and those types of races. I wonder if because I just see got some youngsters here that go around the island every day on their bike, not every day, every Sunday in particular, tying up people foot. But but yeah, I don't wonder about that. I wonder if we can develop some of those guys who have a real love for the bike. Are they always on the bike,
Yeah. Well, I like the word you use, real love, Look here. 19, what it was, I think it was 88. Anyway, about 20 years ago. After coming back home here from Houston, Texas, I said, you know what? I'm going home here, go try something. And then once I started it, then the other guys who are around here who used to race with me in the park, they're still here in St. Kitts. And I'm going to let them know why I do this. I organize a bicycle fun ride around the island from the youngest person to the oldest person. The oldest person we had in there was a man, he was 72.
Okay.
And we had a little boy in there, he was just 6, the youngest one. And we had over 100 and something cyclists, man and woman, everybody. And we let them know it was not a race, it's just a fun. I was trying something. And when I leave 2 of my best riders friends in the park. I say, look, I set the standard, you all continue build on this. And then form a team and have you road races around the island and like the tour of St. Kitts then. Not only around the island, but the tour. Well, everything just gone on the drain because the one who love it, he gone away, so. Nobody else love it, seem to love it. And so he did, but I am willing to work with anybody who willing to walk and listen to me. I am willing to walk with them. Not because I cannot pedal on a bike anymore, but the bike is in my brains. And I will do anything to bring it back. But let me tell you this here. Okay, yeah, when we used to be in the park racing, we had no other place to go to race our bike because we born and grow up meet those older guys in the racing bike.
Right.
And if one man run us out the park, seemed like Warner Park had belonged to him. He had all kind of big talk, so that those bicycles here, they're mashing up the park, the cricket field and all this kind of thing. We're not running on the pitch. We're running on the perimeter of the cricket pitch on the outside. How could bicycles mash up a park? And so we had to go on the road. And that time the road never like how it is now because the road was all gravelstone and tar water. And we had to be steering off a key and drop out the tractor on the road and big gutter and copper hole and pot hole and all kind of thing. So you know what I used to do in the night? Go over Frigate Bay and circle around the second roundabout for about an hour just to get some miles in my legs. So when you got people in position and they don't encourage you who are not in position, I just don't know. It's not encouraging to be around.
Discouraging, yeah.
Yeah, not around. But none of them stop me from my bike because I love it. And I say when I did, chop up my bike and put it in my car with me, let me go down.
Well,
but anything to do with any kind of sport that I could help, I will help them.
All right. So we got people willing right now, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Okay. Thanks,
all right.
Man.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, to me, when I look at the Tour de France, some of the places them look like how the peninsula, how the road they be winding. So I wonder if we can sort out something over there, man. But we have another call on the line. Caller, good morning, live on Island T. What's up?
Yeah, man. Good morning, man.
Morning.
Yeah, that lady caller, man. She made a great contribution there, man. Anyway, congrats to Kim Collins and his wife, and that job they just got. And I was listening. I don't know how long ago that lady caller came off, but that was a great contribution she made there, man. Nation building and sports and these other activities and stuff. But the young people definitely got to get involved, man. And being that they open back up for entertainment, and I guess the sporting events are gonna come back now. But for me, I believe that they need to develop all areas, man, all segments of sports, different activities. Like why can't they put on? You see, they have a biking event in France called the Tour de France. Why can't we have like a Tour de Cinques or a Tour de Neves?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be like regular cycling, or I think she was talking about like the motorbike guys, right?
No, it's just regular cycle, not unpowered bicycles.
Yeah, but what about but I know Sinkis put out they have a lot of guys in Sinkis that always when I was little, man, they always have a lot of guys in Sinkis that used to they pop wheeling with their motorbikes and stuff, whether it be like dirt bikes.
Yeah, man, bike life. It's still big.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. They can have an event like that either in Sinkis or Nevis. It don't matter to me, but they got to put on like a big event so that they could draw crowds, man. They might attract international and regional people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? These are things they got to do to stimulate the economy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one last thing before you go. I noticed Jamaica, man. Jamaica keep putting out these top, track and field men and women athletes. Why can't Sinkis and Nevis have like some type of affiliation with Jamaica where once you recognize that talent in Sinkis and Nevis, then they could bridge them and send them out to Jamaica to train out there, and then they can always come back and represent the federation. All right, man. Thanks a lot. That's my contribution, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. But we have a few minutes left, so we could kind of stay on this topic. But I keep saying there's a lot of talent here that isn't harnessed because they might not be the avenue might not be fully developed yet, right? Y'all ever see some of these men stone mango? I see some people stone mango and they walk out while they ain't trying javelin, I see some man scale wall and wondering why they ain't doing pole vault. But we have another call on the line. Caller, good morning. We live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning, Adam.
Morning.
I'm missing your partner this morning.
Oh, yeah, man. She should be back tomorrow.
I hope she's listening.
Yeah, man.
Adam, I'd just like to make a quick contribution to the Sir Simeon Daniel Museum that was opened here on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like to say kudos to Dion and his siblings who piloted this. It was a classy affair. It's a phenomenal building in Nevis, where it's located, and the entire presentation was done very tasteful. Having known Dr. Simeon Daniel personally, he was a very close friend of my dad. I know wherever he is, he would be extremely proud of this endeavor. Nevisians are extremely proud to not only honor him, but have this in our midst where we can go and reminisce about the man and what he did for Nevis. Dion, super, super, super job. You and your sisters, and I think everyone who attended that event on Saturday evening would say it was an evening well spent. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Awesome.
Conditions, come on over and see it. It's something we're extremely proud of in Nevis.
Where is it located?
I would like to say that.
Where is it located? Where in Nevis?
It's located on the entrance going down to Pinner's on the Island Main Road in the Belmont building, which is quite different. You can't miss it when you come along there because there's no other building like that in Nevis.
Right.
And you would turn to go down Penny's, and it's right there in the corner, right across from the Malcolm Gishard Park, recreational park.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's right there. It's right there. And while I was there, let me just say this. I took the opportunity to browse through some of the stores that are there.
Mhm.
Wow, I thought I was in St. Martin or in New York or someplace. The jewelry stores, the liquor store, the perfume shops. Hey, we've come a long way in Nevis. We've come a long way.
Yeah, I actually passed in a few weeks ago.
Phenomenal job
Mhm.
on some of the things that he's done around here. So I would just like to tell him that. And Dr. Simeon Daniel, wow, he was the man for Nevis, still is the man for Nevis, and we honor him, and he is honored in a tremendous way there.
All right, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So I definitely gotta go check out the museum now. I actually passed through the complex a few weeks ago, and yeah, it's a really nice complex. I need to go eat some Italian food. Somebody take me out now. I got a nice Italian restaurant there. Somebody need to treat me. I was waiting for the call by the calling. Anyway, hopefully the person is just checking the bank account to know if they want to take me out or not. So we'll see. But yeah, and I see a comment here saying you see how much reverence you put in for politicians, but no one else, no sports personnel and stuff like that. And I do believe that there's a reason for that. One of the reasons is based on we have a young country, so I keep saying, based on where we're at in our development as a country, the country is going to need persons with certain skills, and then we continue to build on it. But we've had persons who have done great things in all aspects, and it'd be good to see some of the same recognition given to them. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Emmanuel, send me. When you come Nevis, don't be a stranger. I'll take you out for lunch or something.
Oh, okay then. Sound like a plan.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, thanks.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
See, ask and you shall receive, guys. Yeah, closed mouths do not get fed. But yeah, why my mother calling me? She not on the show, She not on the show. Anyway, mommy, I can call her when the show done. She travel and she ain't see me since she come back, so that's why she calling me. I can check you after the show, mommy. Wow. Anyway. But yeah, so hopefully we are at a place where we start seeing some recognition for persons who would have done great things in other aspects. Because not only because they did great things, and we start talking about the impact it has on future generations and inspiring them, but also I think just the product itself of upcoming generations gets better. That's one of the things that I always admire about Jamaica. They have a understanding of what happened to bring them to where they're at. When I talk to young musicians, and I ain't talking about a big artist, Notorious Riley and them, and so I'm talking about I just talk to regular musicians who I have the pleasure to work with and stuff, and they talk about which bassman played on Jacob Miller's track and which bassman happened to be in the studio to play on Bob Marley's track. Oh no, Family Man played the bass line. It's such and such played the bass line. And things like they understand the history. And I think that goes a long way in the cultivating the passion, but also for some reason it builds something in the product. It builds something in the product when you have that understanding. A lot of times we don't seem to have that here. I don't know if it's because we're small and we just see people as, that's just the fella from down the road and we don't really want to give people the flowers and be able to use them as examples. We just have this thing. One of the things I realize about St. Kitts is we have what I call the Highlander syndrome. There can only be one. So if I'm a Ellie Matt fan, me and a fan of Star Shield. If I'm a Dr. Denzel Douglas fan, well, I can admire Kennedy Simmons. It's weird. If I was a New Vibes fan, I can't be a Grandmasters fan or Smarlocks fan. Sometimes we need to really just give jacket. Something just gotta give Jackie jacket. Like, I don't understand why we always feel the need to not admire and give people recognition for the great things they do. Sometimes until it's too late when they're not here. And then even so, we do it for the one day, and then after that, that's the end of that. So we really need to work on that, guys. Hopefully, the powers that be are listening, and it don't have to be grand affair, but it has to be something sustainable and something that will be around for a while, even outside of this particular term or even this generation. Something that we could continue to build and add to our history, right? Even the idea of Sinki's history to me is all is little disjointed. You have this person wrote a book, or you go down to the National Museum and you get a piece. You go up to Brimstone Hill and you get a piece, whatever. But I think there's a lot of areas that fall through the cracks, a lot of people that fall through the cracks, and we hear about some of it today. And the thing about it for me is when these people transition and they're no longer here, like these stories, these legacies, they depart with them, There's only so much more people here who could tell us about the race in 1979. There's only so much more of them here who was there at the race and could talk about it. So when those people leave and we haven't documented it, and it's not somewhere cemented in our in our traditions, whether it's oral or otherwise, like what we do. But it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to take one last call before we end the show today. But good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Rather sorry to call you the last, but the thing has been on my mind. We're celebrating everybody as Black History except ours.
Yeah, I've been saying that all month.
Yeah, look, the other day I was saying the Unity Friendly Society of the village, the lodge. It must be in our private residence. That society started in 1932. It had more members than the Workers' League, over 1,000 at one time, over 1,000 persons. March. They used to march in Bastille. Right? Then you have the Heart and Hand Society, which was started in 1910. And it's still going. They have a funeral home. I don't know about the membership. But these are organizations that the ordinary working man depended on in sickness and in death. And we just cast them aside. I watched the Black and White Hall. Churches were started in the Methodist, the Baptist, the Gospel Hall, the Rehoboth. That was where they started. And you watch the building deteriorate. I don't know what happened now. Those are supposed to be places where the very history of the village can be put.
Right.
And these two men, Charles Huggins and Eisen Wharton, man, they should be numbered among our heroes, But, the old people thing. And sometimes, every now and again, I hear a funeral with the Black and White Society, the Heart and Hand. These are organizations that survive. We're talking about 1910 all the way through. So our people have got to be redirected to developing their own institutions.
Right.
Revitalizing them. Reforming them. Then you will begin to get some sense of ownership. Some sense of belonging. I must commend Nevis for the Willett Museum.
Right.
Man, that is something you could touch it. It look like him. I want to work for Kim and other people like that.
Right, for sure.
Because we're too selfish, we could think permanent labor. That's it.
It's true.
Anybody outside that is sin. We got ministers of the gospel, teachers, who put in 50 years. We just ignore them. They get old. You see them in town stumbling. We pass them over. When teachers recommend. Oh, so about my teacher. When last you passed to say good morning. We have to develop our own Black history. We have an abundance. But we thought, Martin Luther King did well. But we had no bus down here to walk, to even go to the back.
I'm going to tell you, one of the things that's interesting for me is the fact that we are a country, not even 40 years yet. And if you look at where we have come to,
A long way.
and it means to me, and it signals to me that there must have been a lot of people, not one or two, and not from one particular area, that would have contributed in massive
telling
ways to the
you.
development. So we need to be able
Man, I
to
born
see
in
the
the
story.
days when
Mhm.
lodging, picture when you about lodging, they say lodging, or it is a guest house. You know?
Miss
After
Henry,
your lodge, you go to your lodgings.
yeah, but we're gonna
I
have to.
mean, the poverty and the everything and everybody struggle. And the leaders in the churches, in the political parties, in the different organizations, would never get out of that deep poverty we were in.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we begin.
We get
Like
out.
you see, man,
We get out so
going
much that we
food.
obese now.
By that, you know.
We get out so
Read
much
the
that we
Bible,
obese.
They say, and they forgot God. Whenever things get good, they forgot God. They not only forget God, you know. They turn to other idols and begin to give idols the glory.
Mhm.
Well, you know,
Miss Henry, we're gonna have to wrap it up because we passed the 10 o'clock hour.
All right then.
But thank you so much for calling.
Good morning, Jade. You recover from your birthday party?
Is that so?
What did you do to Jade? That she can't catch herself
I
on
don't.
Monday morning.
I don't think she could tell us.
She got Monday morning blues. All right then. Everybody have a good day. God bless you.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, we're gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to disembark. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning on Island Tea. Thank you guys for coming and keeping me company. Yeah, we had some interesting conversation this morning. Amazing contribution from all the callers. Culture, big up yourself, by you was my co-host this morning. Yeah, Miss Henry. But guys, stay safe. And have a great Monday. Hopefully this sets the tone for the rest of the week. Make sure it's productive. Make sure you deal with people with love and grace. And remember, spend more time living your content than posting it. And you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. I'm going to see you guys back right here again tomorrow.